I can't. I won't roll it. No.
My turn.
If it was a spliff, you would have rolled it?
Yeah, for sure. It was
Yeah.
just too far for me.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, we ain't get C yet, right?
I'm scared.
scared.
C's holding off on us. I'm scared.
We back to religion and spirituality. Some individuals hold the opinion that strong religious beliefs act as a mental prison, hindering the progression and empowerment of our community. What are your thoughts on this sentiment?
I have no idea what you just said to me.
So basically,
Okay.
basically, like the question is saying that religion can put you in this headspace and kind of entrap you to how you want the world to be based on religion, and it's not. Sometimes those people are not very realistic about human traits and like how actual people, you know,
like they so focused on the religion that they not focused on reality, basically.
Christians.
I entirely agree with that statement, especially when it comes to more of the Christian based religions, because I think a lot of times the scriptures are misconstrued and or twisted because everyone is putting their opinions and their bias on the certain scriptures, not really recognizing that this is a book, this is a story. And if you look at it from the perspective of it being a story that's being told in very cursive language, there's metaphors in it, and not everything is like direct. It's not it's not strictly, you know, it's not black and white. It's supposed to be interpreted for you and not for you. And I feel like the biggest one for me is, you're not supposed to judge anyone, God's supposed to judge, but they're very judgmental
based off what they thought they read,
right?
How they received the message.
And I'm not religious at all. I've left the church when I was like 14, only because I was that child that had the massive amount of questions because none of it made sense to me. It didn't make any sense to me, and I'm like, well, I feel like I heard from a Jewish book that, you know, a Torah, that this is that. And then I'll be like, well, can you explain that to me? And why are they talking about the same thing but not the same thing? And I used to get like shit for it. So I'm more of a spiritual person. I believe more like in universal power and stuff, because I feel like all of the belief systems and religious systems that mankind, I'm going to say it again, mankind, human beings made up these systems. I feel like we're all talking about the exact same thing with different names, different words, but the disconnect with the world and why everything is in shambles is because we're not recognizing that we're all trying to explain and internalize the exact same thing. It doesn't have to be a war against words.
Well said.
I think that I think religious people tend to be much more closed-minded. Like you said, they get stuck in their ways, and you can't even talk to them or have a meaningful conversation because they're like, I can't even hear you because you trying to question my, you know, religion and things of that nature. One thing I'd be really like curious about is like we got all of these different religions on earth. If there is a heaven and you get to heaven and you worship the wrong religion your whole life, like what does God say to you at this point?
Right.
I thought, God damn, I was wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do we still let you in? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, so that's just always even asking that question might be taboo in certain religion. Oh, you're not even supposed to ask that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think when you talk about religion, people do be closed-minded. Especially in certain communities. In our community, you know, we as soon as we come out the womb, you're a Christian. Like, you know what I mean? You can't even question but who the fuck God is, what the fuck God is, like, because now it's like you might get slapped for asking that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you don't even get a chance to develop your own, you know, thoughts. Like, you know what I mean? So everything is just pushed onto you. And like, you know, it's just like when you're born, you're a Democrat. You don't even get to choose. You know what I mean? And then when you choose it, it's like, nigga, why are you choosing? You supposed to, like, you know what I mean? So like,
Is anybody else not Democrat?
You can't even think about not being Democrat. Niggas say, what? You
just saying,
like, you know
it's like,
like
too much.
I'm not a Democrat.
No.
Some people look at you like, what? You must be crazy. Like, you know what I mean? So, and you just your own person with your own thoughts. And like, you know what I mean? You're allowed to have those thoughts. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you ain't hurt nobody with those thoughts. So, like.
Man, I might get some flack for this, but you know, in slave times, slaves were allowed to read Bibles, but not read nothing else. And in the Bible, it was saying something about you should obey your master, worship your master, or whatever. But then it says you should only worship Jesus. So, I mean, there's a lot of contradictory things in the Bible. And then, like Eli says, like, which one is the real one? Because there's different versions. Then they got New Testaments.
Mm-hmm.
So they went back to God and got more shit. Like, it just really puzzles
You got the
me, bro.
DLC.
And then it's like, all right, so this first guy went and talked to God and came back like, yeah, this is what he said, blah blah. Like, how do you know that's what he like? He went up a mountain and talked to who? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
it's hard to follow something that was man-made. You know what I mean? It's,
Right.
it's to follow what that man wants you to follow. So
Yeah.
I get what you're saying for sure.
like Pusha said, man, I believe there's a God above me, but I'm just, everything else is just whatever it is.
Yeah, I believe in that there was a creator. Someone did create everything.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a Christian home, and my mom was very strict. You know, my dad was in the streets, so he didn't really get, jiggy with that at all.
I hear that shit in a minute.
Like Will Smith, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
But
Can't get jiggy
I have
with
my
this
own
shit.
son, and we don't go to church.
Mhm.
I do pray. I listen to gospel music sometimes,
Mhm.
but I don't force religion on him
Yeah.
at all. I just tell him, you treat people right, you treat yourself right, you carry yourself in a good manner.
Mhm.
If you do wrong, just forgive. That's it. And when you go to sleep, if you can't sleep at night, turn on a little gospel music or some lullabies and stuff, but be careful what you listen to. Because my son, he loves drill music. I personally don't rock with drill music, but he listens to it, so I don't say nothing about it, because growing up, I couldn't listen to that. We listened to gospel every single day, every Saturday. My mom cleaned up. We listening to gospel music, so I couldn't listen to like Mary J. Blige, none of that stuff, unless I was with my dad. Like my dad would play it because he didn't care. You understand? So I'm not too much of the Bible or heaven or hell, because I didn't have nobody come back yet to tell me that they went to these places.
For
You
sure.
understand? So
I get
until
that too.
somebody could tell me, I experienced this, I actually, die, and I come and I can tell you this, in a dream or something, I'll believe it. Until then, when you die, you just die. For real. I just feel like you just resting. I'm never gonna see you again. I just have memories.
Well, I hate to get so personal because I just don't really like being too personal with my business, but there has to be a God. I just got shot 4 times and lived and walk and talk and do everything I used to do. And only God can make that happen. You get what I'm saying? So I know we may have our doubts about what we read and what we hear, but praying and keeping your prayers up, that shit matters. You know what I'm saying? We got minutes to talk to our friend. We could talk to our cousin. We could talk to our homeboy. We could talk to the person on the street. But if you believe in God, you could spend a few minutes talking to him. That's all I say.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, did you have an experience while you was,
I had a few, man.
Okay. You want to share?
Nah.
Nah.
But yeah, we'll get there.
Fair enough.